Welcome to my presentation on using Scoop.It in your media center. So I'm going to talk about what Scoop.It is. I'm going to talk about Scoop.It and positive behavior in the classroom, and I'm going to do a screencast demonstration showing you the interface and how to use the basic features. I'll come back to my slideshow to talk about pros and cons of this tool and to talk about using the tool in your media center. So Scoop.It is a social bookmarking platform similar to Pinterest or Pearl Trees, and there's quite a few other possible social bookmarking platforms you could use. I personally use both Pinterest and Pearl Trees, so I wanted to explore this tool as well and see if I liked it better. And I actually like it better than Pearl Trees. I think it's a more user-friendly interface and a little more versatile. I use Pinterest a lot personally. I find that Scoop.It has a more professional look to it, and I actually kind of like the versatility and the searching options in Scoop.It better when talking about using this tool for classes. So in Scoop.It, users create topic boards to keep organized. So obviously as a curation tool, its main function is to keep you organized and basically have a central location that you can place all of these resources that you're finding all over the web. So similar to Pinterest and Pearl Trees, you create a board, and then this is where you are collecting and saving all of these resources you are finding. Scoops are the articles, videos, or images that you post into the board. So you find them either directly right in Scoop.It by searching the topic, or you can download the extension and scoop articles or videos that you find across the web. You can share scoops directly in Twitter or Facebook right from the Scoop.It application. So right when you're scooping it, you can also select this option to share it on social media platforms. So I think that makes it a little more social media centric than maybe some other tools that are similar. Talking about Scoop.It and behavior. So using social media technology in educational settings can increase student engagement and motivation, creating more active learners. So when we talk about using these tools in our media center, the purpose is to create a more engaging lesson and also to give our students some agency in the projects that they are working on, so they can use these tools to find their own resources, find their own sources for a project, share them with you or with their group more easily, and it can be a completely collaborative experience with each other in a classroom, also with you, and giving each other some feedback. So this study that by Antonio and Tuffley actually looked specifically at Scoop.It in a higher education setting, and they found that it enabled students to collaborate, converse, and share knowledge and help each other gain a better understanding of subject matter. So that actually Scoop.It enhanced learning in this specific situation, and that it helped them to gain a deeper understanding of the subject matter. So we will take a look at what Scoop.It does and how to use it, and kind of talk about the ways in which this might be happening on Scoop.It. Going into the platform, this is the main homepage, the interface. I'm just going to point out some of the basics on how to use it. So it's showing me right now things that I have scooped. I like going over here in the top right corner to this drop-down menu to navigate through the site. If I wanted to upgrade, if I needed help. Bookmarklet is that extension that I talked about, so you can download that into Google Chrome, and when you're browsing online, you can actually scoop those articles right when you see them. If you don't have the extension, you can also create a scoop with a URL in this window right here. Settings is your profile, and then I like going to my dashboard. I can see more from here. So I can see my curated topics. I only have one because I'm using the free account. But if you wanted to create more than one, you would hit that. So right now it's asking me if I want to upgrade because I have the free account. I can only have one topic board. But if this was your first board, or if you had the paid account, it would ask you to put the title in, and it would ask you for some keywords. So that way it can generate suggestions for you. Curated scoops. So these are, again, it would look like my homepage again with things that I have scooped. Followed topics. These are topics that are of interest to me, so it's making suggestions of topic boards here that I can look at. My followed scoops. So these are scoops that other people posted that I scooped. And then my community, you can see my community icons right here. So since I connected this to my Twitter account, all my Twitter followers and friends that are also on Scoop.It are listed here. And I can click on their profiles or onto their boards. So Dr. Valenza is here, not surprisingly. And I can click on this board that she is curating. And now I can see all of her scoops in here. And this it looks like a little icon with arrows on it. When you hover over it, it says Scoop.It. When you click on that, you can pick one of your own topic boards to scoop this article into. If you want to share your insight, some notes or thoughts on it, you could do that. And you can, if you are paying for Scoop.It and not using the free trial, you can also do this where you directly post it onto Twitter right here. And then these are the tags. So these are tags that she put on here. I can change them by crossing them out. And if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to add education in here, I would just type that in, hit enter, and now that tag's on there. And then I hit publish to post it into that topic board. You can also like or share. Again, this is just a link to share onto Twitter. And I can actually also suggest scoops to Dr. Valenza. So I can upload my own thing. I can suggest something with a link. And this is the collaboration part of this. So if you have a classroom where your students all have Scoop.It accounts, they can have, let's say they're each creating their own board on something. They can collaborate with each other. They can be sharing with each other different articles and videos, whatever resources, and they can be using that tool right here. So let's say I want to get out of this. I could always just hit this read button, or I could hit Scoop.It, doesn't matter. It would take me back to that same homepage. I'm going to go here to my dashboard. So let's say I wanted to create a topic board for my students. I'm teaching them primary versus secondary sources, and I want to put together some resources for them to look at, or that we might be going through together in the course of the lesson. I would hit create topic. I could name it primary versus secondary sources, put in some key terms. And what I'm going to see when I create that board is it's going to take me to the suggestion page first. So this is one of the things I really like about it. This is what I like better than Pinterest and better than Pearl Trees, is that it's creating suggestions for you. I already did the search primary versus secondary sources, and it's only giving me 9, so not that many. But let's say you had hundreds or thousands of results. I could scroll through here, and let's say I wanted to bookmark this. I could bookmark it and maybe bookmark another one. And then when I want to then go through a more refined list of ones that I think are more worth putting in here, I can click on my bookmarks. Now it's only 4. This one is primary versus secondary. It's that same icon that says publish. It would take me to the same interface. Choose your board, annotate, tag. So you might have notes for your students or directions for your students that you include there. Also, under all suggestions, I like that you can have some limiters here. You can filter the type. You can show how recent you want your post to be, or how far back you want to go. And if you, again, that didn't only give me 9 suggestions, so if you want to, you can also just do a search right up here and see if you get more results. So searching primary sources, I am getting over 5,000 scoops, 36 topic boards, 36 users related to primary sources. So I can scroll through this. It looks very similar to when I look at another user's topic board. So it's the same thing with that little icon with the arrows. I can scoop it, I can like it, I can share it. There is no bookmark feature over here in this area of the tool. So if I really want to add this to my topic board, I have to take the time to scoop it right then and there. And this is where you might be doing some collaboration. So again, students can suggest scoops to each other. They could also just be sharing this on other social media platforms. Maybe they're sharing it on Twitter accounts or on Facebook. That could be another way in which they're collaborating with each other and suggesting things to each other. So I think that covers the basics of the platform and what you can do with it. So I'm going to go back to my slideshow, and I'm going to talk about what I like about Scoop.It. So it's very easy to use. Like I pointed out when I was going through it, I really like the user interface, very user-friendly. It's very clean. I like the limiters in the search area. And I like that it has this cross-platform connectivity. So if you are doing this as a collaborative project with your students, that maybe this is where they're brainstorming, or maybe this is where they're gathering resources for a project. They can be, like I said, sharing on different social media, suggesting things to each other, suggesting scoops to each other right in Scoop.It. And also for myself personally, I think this is really good for your PLN to be able to post directly to Facebook or Twitter. So I think as a curation tool, this is really a very strong tool. So what it does very well is it makes it very easy for you to create these lists on any topic, on whatever it is you want. What I don't like about Scoop.It. So it's really tying your hands behind your back. If you're going to use this with your students, you basically are not going to be able to just get by with the free account. You're going to have to pay for some accounts. And to me, this is a huge limiting factor. So unless you're getting some kind of funding or whatever, now you're asking your students to potentially pay for something, right? Because they would only be able to have that one topic board. Maybe that's enough if it's just for one project, but I find that as a huge, huge negative to really using this tool effectively throughout the year. And then I think that a negative could be the fact that you have to have a Facebook or Twitter account to create an account on Scoop.It. So this really positions it as something that you're going to use with older kids, not with younger kids. With the younger kids, we're just teaching them about digital citizenship and digital etiquette. And that can be done through having some social media accounts, but depending on their age, depending on where they are, they might not have social media, and you may not necessarily want to open that door. So that is a negative to this project as well. To this tool as well. So using it in the media center, I think obviously a primary use for me would be my professional learning network. This is a great way to be inspired, share ideas, be sharing with colleagues and other professionals. And the topic board that I had on there was geared toward doing that. For upper middle school or high school students who maybe now you have this opportunity to be using social media, you can use this tool to collaborate on projects and share ideas. So again, going back to that positive behavior, this is a great way to get them more engaged and a great way to get them collaborating with each other. But if you're in elementary school, which I am, I think that you can still use this tool, but maybe just not in that same way. So I'm using it to find and organize myself, my own ideas, find these wonderful resources, and combing through a lot of material. And then we do use Google Classroom, which has some social aspects to it as well. You can curate through it. A lot of times I find that I'm not actually curating directly through Google Drive or Google Classroom. I'm finding these resources on using other tools and other platforms, and then I will post a link for my students. And so I can still use the tool in that way, but it's maybe not as social for the students in that regard. I really enjoyed this tool. I really like it, but I do think it is more geared towards older students.